Because my mentor was telling me, like, I always ask him about like marriage and shit. I went to go see him Thursday, I believe, like during the day, because he's a teacher at Pebblebrook. So I went to go see him and shit, and he was saying how, and honestly, this is how I look at like relationships now. He was like, for one, there's a difference between wisdom and intellect. He said if I had to choose, I would choose a wise woman over an intellectual woman.
Hell yeah.
Because he was like, a wise woman, well, for one, an intelligent woman is going, like, she done went to whatever top school and she done went through whatever program and she just smart as hell, you know what I'm saying? Dean's list, president's list, the whole nine. But he was like, a wise woman, man. Let's just say, for example, you just worked a 10, 12-hour shift, whatever the case may be. And that's like your 15th day in a row type shit. She gonna walk in the house, she gonna see your shoulder slumped over. She gonna, read the room. She gonna see your face and she gonna be like, yeah, this ain't really the time to talk about him leaving his drawers in the bathroom type shit.
Nah, for real. I was gonna say a big piece of a wise woman is an aware woman.
Aware and experienced.
Yeah, and he was talking about how, like, he was talking to one of his friends that's married. She's a woman, and she was saying that a wise woman, like, wisdom is basically taming of the tongue. Because a lot of women will say some shit to you, and as men, we respond a certain way based off how you say it to us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, a intellectual woman gonna like, damn, nigga, you can't woo. But a wise woman gonna be like, I understand you may be a little upset right now. We could talk about it later, but you left your drawers in the bathroom. We can talk about it a little later. I mean, I ain't really gonna, or she just gonna shut the fuck up.
Hey, look, it's funny because then you think about it the other way. Like, if a woman was like, man, I love you. You're like, what the fuck? But she's saying, I love you. It's just how the delivery matters to us more, honestly, almost more than the words.
Yeah.
I saw a thing the other day. This dude was saying, he was showing up with his dog.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's not your tone or anything. It can be just your delivery. Well, no, he said it wasn't what you're saying. He's like, this is how I can prove to you your dog don't know what the fuck you're saying. Right? He was like, it's not what you're saying, but it's how you come, like, with your delivery, your tone, and how you give it to him. He was like, oh, I hate your little motherfucking ass, you stupid ass little dog. And the dog was like, yeah, like but he was like, I love you. I just want to see the best. I want to do everything I can. And he was like, the dog was scared. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
What I was thinking, like, when you said wise, like, I think sometimes wisdom comes with, like, living your life, right? You realize there's certain things, like, it living makes the reading of the room easier.
Yeah.
But you gotta carry the awareness with you, because a lot of people live life for a long time, but they're not paying attention to what's going on around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but and so in my mind, that's essentially true living, where you're living and paying attention to everything that's kind of moving around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're taking life in.
We gotta make sure we add that part, because a lot of people be like, oh yeah, I've been living long, I'm probably wise.
Bro, what are you seeing? Seeing and taking life in, versus the intellect. Like, you can have a ton of book sense. We see this shit every day. We talk about this all the time. Like, people who have book sense don't necessarily have outdoor everyday sense. You know what I'm saying? Street sense. So like, it's people who got degrees upon degrees upon degrees. Yeah. And somebody go outside and be like, hey, let me get change for 100, and then let me get change for 20, and then before you know it, them niggas $175 down, and because they was, you know what I'm saying?
They pulled out the $500 bill for it's like, you want 20 right here, bro. I'll give you the other thing.
Yeah, like, bro, people do that shit. Like, that was a thing at one time. People had figured out a way to hustle. They go in the store and catch a young nigga, be like, hey, let me get change for 100, and then be going back and forth with the money. And them niggas will end up with like I'm just spitting. Yeah, I'm just spitting. This shit have been on my mind for quite some time. I gotta put the shit on the line. I'm just spitting. Yeah, I'm just spitting. niggas hated Russ out there, man.
Steelers Nation, let's mine. Ain't that what Steelers are? Minus?
I have no idea, bro. I mean, I've never heard that one before, but
I know
that's a new one.
They are iron miners, yeah.
Yeah, so iron miners, coal miners, something like that.
Oh, I wouldn't have known.
Welcome back, welcome all the way the hell
What's
back.
up, man? What's up?
To yet another episode of Dropping Dymes podcast.
We are back. He is back.
If this your first time hanging out with us, my name is Byron.
I'm Wallace.
And I'm Roger.
Hey,
and I know that he look a little different. It ain't brand.
That seat look a little different right now.
The seat look a little different. But if you've been rocking with us, man, y'all know this is our very first guest. This was the very first person that we said if we ever have guests.
That's crazy.
This was who we was gonna have on here.
Yeah.
And it's Roger.
Roger's back.
We told Roger go home, Roger, a long time. We was like, go home, Roger. he left, but he back.
He came back with his
we
polo
appreciate
sweater,
it. He came
short,
looking like a young Carlton.
look, thighs
You know what I'm saying? Young Carlton Banks.
Hey.
You feel me?
Yeah.
But man, and if y'all know, again, if y'all been rocking with us, y'all know how much we really do appreciate Roger. If you haven't been rocking with us that long,
to all of our new followers,
yeah, to all our new followers. Roger is one of the coolest, dopest, most connected. Like he
literally down to earth.
Like he ain't come in on his body shit today, but he is definitely connected to the source of life, of everything. That he is super intuitive.
One of the most beautiful things about Roger is his mind is always open.
Always open.
So he definitely has his own opinions, perspectives, but he's always open.
Until it's closed. And then when that motherfucker's closed,
lock that
it's a fight. And that was what kind of took off in here last time. But it was all love, man, because even when the camera started rolling, we was able to talk it out.
Yeah.
And everybody realized, like, we just passionate.
Yeah.
And Roger is a passionate person, man, whether it's about his opinions, his thoughts, his family, his friends, whatever craft he's in at the time. Because Roger is a man of many talents. Learn everything. Like right now, this man is. I ain't gonna put Roger stuff out there. Roger, if you want to tell us everything that you're doing right now, I know we only got only an hour show. So only give us a few of your many talents.
Well, I discovered something new outside of I think last time I came out was just teaching and shooting wildlife photography. But now I've added pilot to the list. So I've been in flight school since June, last June. So it's been a while. I just recently, and I told myself I was gonna take a picture like Wilt Chamberlain. I just recently hit my. Come on, man. This man.
I ain't gonna say that. I was like,
bro. Y'all remember when he scored 100 points?
Yeah.
That's
he
what
also
I'm
got 20,000 wins.
That ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like, from the perspective of me recreating that iconic photo, I was gonna take a picture holding up a sign of 100 because I just recently hit 100 flight hours.
Congratulations,
that's what's up, brother.
Congratulations.
But yeah, man, I'm flying, becoming a pilot. One of these days I'll be at Delta or Southwest or whatever commercial airline I decide. And
hell yeah, because then I can bring my son and sit up there with you and, take that picture with his little wings next to
I can't wait to do career day though, because when I was in school, I never, we had career days and stuff, but I never saw a pilot come through and talk about what they did.
Them niggas were busy.
They was somewhere else.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I can't wait to do that because now that I'm in the aviation field, of course, I don't see a lot of black men or black people in general, black women for sure. So I think it's important to just expose our youth to different career paths.
Yeah.
Because, we are becoming more in tune with becoming doctors and attorneys and stuff like that. But I think aviation kind of get left out of the mix sometimes too.
Sure.
So, I just can't wait to spread that
information. It's crazy that we leave it out, but everybody's always talking about seeing the world.
Yeah.
What better way?
Trying to tell you.
I think I do agree with you. We don't get into the field of aviation. I'm in a field of aviation, but not as deep as you, of course. But like even with the company that I work for, like seeing the mission planners is only like 1 or 2 out of 15.
Yeah.
The people who do scheduling, people who, you know what I'm saying, like, and it's a whole bunch of different jobs in aviation. It's not just the pilot.
You don't have to be a pilot. Yeah, you can be air traffic control.
Bro, but you know that's like air traffic controllers. That's a scary shit.
Yeah,
like them people be committing suicide.
They get paid though.
And
it's a shortage.
If they live,
that's a very it's stressful.
It's a stressful position. But it's definitely something out there. Like like most companies, if like you have to go to school to do it, right? Yeah. Like they want you under a certain age, but above a certain age. Yeah. Like they got like a window of time that you can do it, and they feel comfortable with you doing it. Yeah. Anything under it, they like, nah, you're not even old enough. Over it, like you probably gonna kill yourself before you out of school. But it's crazy. It's crazy, but there is I definitely agree. There is a shortage. Like even with the company I work for, we got a few. One of them is like one of my black frat brother. Yeah. And he said, man, start getting your pilot hours. I was like,
he was telling you that?
Yeah. He was like, man, just start getting your pilot hours. Just get your hours up. I was like, nah. That ain't for me, Clarence.
Just like that.
That ain't mine.
Hey, it was crazy. I think I told you, I'd rather take my chances in the sky than underwater. So like, I was talking to somebody, maybe it wasn't you. I was talking to somebody about them helping somebody make a decision on going to the Air Force or to the Navy. Yeah. And I'm like, bruh, I'd rather take my chances in the air. Because if that shit go wrong underwater, it's nothing that you can do. What was that ship that went down there with the Titanic? The one that never came back?
You talking about the submarine?
Oh, the little
putt-putt.
That little thing.
That little putt-putt is crazy.
That propane tank.
Nah, I'll take a putt-putt in the sky before I take a putt-putt underwater.
I'm not taking a putt-putt. I don't even want to take a putt-putt on 285.
Look, a putt-putt in the sky is just a little 2-passenger crop duster. Yeah. I take them chances.
We see them bitches crash all the time.
Man, I pop out of that thing.
You think? That's what you think.
I take my chances.
Listen, let me tell you, it be so like, what's crazy is since I've been doing it, like you see and hear about so many plane crashes that don't make it to the news. Yeah, you be like plane crash in South Georgia. You like what? When you go on the news trying to find it, we only see it because we see it on the back end.
Is it true that I heard that like 97% of passengers in plane crashes across the world like survive?
No clue.
Okay. They were saying like we hear about these crashes where everybody dies, but it's a lot of times plane
like
crashes, nobody dies.
Like because if you get a pilot that actually understands what they're doing and know what they're doing,
like Denzel.
But I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say
like
that
Denzel in flight.
Because it still depends on the circumstances
Can you fly a plane like Denzel in flight?
I'm only at 100 hours, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
let's not get carried away.
But got a long way to go as far as that. But just being a pilot now and just really understanding like what's going on and really doing my research and just getting into the field myself, it's like it's hella books on like being a pilot and just it's so many checklists for everything and stuff like that we got to go through. Yeah. And a lot of times what the books will say or just hearsay from other pilots or whatever, they'll always say a lot of accidents happen because of ego, which is the perfect segue into what we're talking about. But a lot of things happen because of ego or pride, because like we have this thing where a great approach is going to equal a great landing. So like there's a setup in a way that you have to land, like a certain type of steps that you have to follow in order to make sure that your approach is stable, right? Yeah. So once you get in for final or whatever, and let's just say, because we got the lights that we got to look at, called either the PAPI lights or the VASI lights, and if it's red and white at the same time, then that means you're on a good, you know what I'm saying, a good glide slope. But if you're too high, it'll be white. If you're too low, both of them will be red. Because sometimes it'll be 4, but if they all red, then you know you're too low. And if you and if they're all white, then you're too high. But just if you have an unstable approach in general, I ain't gonna get too deep into it. But if you have an unstable approach, we're taught to go around. That's what we're supposed to do. My approach is messed up. I'm gonna just go around. Like I'm gonna just
circle back and do it again.
You know what I'm saying? So, but a lot of times you battle with your ego. You like, man, I'm good enough to the point where I can fix my approach. Yeah, like I can make it.
I've been on that plane.
You know what I'm
hit
saying?
the ground
Like,
and you do this.
yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? But had the pilot just went around in that scenario, it wouldn't have been bumpy. And not saying that every single approach and every single landing is gonna be perfect, but move your pride and your ego to the side and just say, you know what? I messed up on this one. Let me reset, because there's probably some steps I probably forgot. Yeah. Or it's probably, you know, I was rushing something, I wasn't paying attention, or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna just go around and try it again. Yeah. But a lot of them, we ain't gonna say a lot of them, a lot of us, because I've been a victim of this as well. Well, I'm at the point now where I can manipulate the plane in a scenario to the point where I can get us back on the center line, or I can get, you know what I'm saying, my glide speed to where it's supposed to be. But a lot of times we end up crashing because of that. Yeah. When you could have just made the conscious decision to say, this isn't the best scenario for me, I'm gonna just go around. Yeah. So if that's such a big thing there, is widely known, is that something they talk about in class, or is that just like pilots talking on the side? Like, talk about it in class, you talk about it in like within the training itself. Okay. It's a conversation that's always had. Okay. But again, man, that pride and that ego is so thick. It's just like, I mean, I can fix it. And that's actually one of the I was just studying it a couple of days ago. But it's like a list of 5 I can't remember the name of them, but it's like a list of 5 things that we go through as pilots, as far as like and there's an antidote to everything. But one of them is, I got this, like, don't worry about it. But that's the macho in us. Like, we just want to prove that we can do it. Yeah. Instead of just saying, or just go around. Because I guess a go around makes it seem like you don't really know what you're doing. But in actuality, in hindsight, it's like you just made the safest choice you could make.
Right. So you actually, you know what I mean, really do know what you're doing.
Yeah. Like,
because who wants to be safe?
Right.
Who wants to be fucking safe? I can fix this shit right now. Right. Like we see this shit every day. Like, yeah. Like I remember, I saw a video of this dude, man.
Every day.
Yeah. He was on a ladder over like a stairway, right? Mm-hmm. And he was doing some shit. The ladder was on this side. He was over the stairway on that side. Yeah. Yeah. Like trying to do some shit on the other side. Instead of
And then the
ladder ended up, yeah, of course.
That's one thing they tell us about in like safety wise, and I use a ladder as an example. It's like you doing some work here, but the next thing that you got to do is like 4 feet that way. So either they lean over off of whatever they're on, or
try to jump the ladder.
They try to jump the ladder or scaffold it. Yeah, and I've seen somebody go down.
Yeah, I've jumped the ladder.
And you don't hit the ground. Look, you bounce, but that shit ain't soft.
That's crazy.
The ground is always gonna win that battle.
Always.
It's always gonna win the battle, bro. Like, because it ain't going nowhere.
1,000 out of 1,000.
That's very true.
But
very true.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Pride and ego play a part. Pride, man. Like, how many times in a week do you think you have to check your pride or your ego in a week?
Every time I talk to my wife.
And we can make that the question of the week. How many times in a week do you think you have to check your pride or ego?
I mean, putting a number on it, I mean, at least in my 20s. At least. Because if you take about 7 days a week, it's going to happen 3 times a day.
And it be the smallest stuff too, like,
for sure.
I mean, I gotta check my ego and pride all the time, just being a teacher, because you know, a kid will say something crazy, or it'll just be even in an email. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to just totally put it on, you know, the students, but like sometimes it'll be an email that you'll get, and that first initial reaction is always like, man, like, who the hell you talking, man? Let me just show you what's going on, you know, but. You know,
that's a good one. I started to, cause I see some emails and dumb shit comes across my line all the time. But I started to I put my name in the 2 and then type what the fuck I wanted to type. Yeah. And send that shit. So it just come to me, and then I take it and rework it to make it business ready. Yeah. Because I feel like I gotta get this dumb shit off of me.
Yeah.
But
I just closed my laptop.
But see, to me, it's still in me.
Yeah.
So once I get it off, I'm like, all right, now I can think through it. All right, this is probably how I should say. I still need to get this point across.
Yeah.
But that first initial, I'm like, oh, I got, whew, you dumb.
Yeah.
This architect,
It'd be like that.
This architect this week, it's an issue on the site, and we had a really good relationship. But she saw something and doesn't really know, like she doesn't know for sure if it's wrong or not. But she went and sent the whole team, like owner, architect, subcontractor, manufacturer, everybody. This is wrong. They got to take it out and replace it. And it could possibly be a $300,000 change or correction, not even a change. So it's like you did that in front of everybody before we even got to the truth of
Before
it.
we even discussed it.
Yeah.
To be or got to a understanding as a whole.
But my pride is like, now you're gonna put that. All of it always falls on me. So I'm like, I can let my pride fight back. And honestly, one of the people that worked for me responded to her, and I had to catch my pride. He didn't catch his. He sent a message back. I had to go and talk to him and say, hey, sometimes it's better to just let it sit and go do your due diligence to the max before you have a response.
Yeah, that's why I closed my laptop.
So you don't send it.
Yeah. I closed my laptop because my initial thought isn't. What I've come to realize is the initial shock value of something happening, my initial response to it may not always be the best one, because I feel like, for me personally, that's my emotional response.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because I done got hit, and I'm like, okay, hold on now. Let me just show you. Like, let me prove something to you.
Yeah.
But when I sit and I be like, okay, because I talk to myself like a lot, like out loud too. So I talk to myself and I ask myself, is this the best way to respond to this right now? Should I say this? Is there a better way to handle it? And once I ask myself those questions, you know, I answer and I try to be logical about it. I mean, but I really want to tell her how I'm feeling in this email. But then I go back and say, okay, well, after you send it, or just in general, what point are you trying to prove?
Yeah.
Like, what are we trying to get this person to understand? Are we trying to get them to understand who you are? Are you trying to like be boastful? Are you trying to make them feel like they are under you? Or
yeah.
And if that's the reason, then you need to just chill on it for a second. But if you just trying to really get some clarity and understanding, then yeah, respond, but still take some time to really just kind of map out what you're gonna say and how you gonna, you know, go about the whole situation in general. And I feel like asking ourselves those questions, or whatever question you might want to ask yourself, you know what I'm saying, I feel like that's the best way to go about it. Because like I said, that first initial response that you want to give, 99% of the time it's emotional. And you know, like emotions fluctuate, and you know what I'm saying, so that's not really the best thing. Like, imagine standing on something that ain't really stable or something like that. You're gonna always be like,
and then trying to jump off that thing.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be real wobbly.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with emotions. Like, if I can't really stand on that, you know what I'm saying, and it's not gonna get me to where I'm trying to get, which is a mutual understanding, then I probably shouldn't, you know, respond that way.
I think with pride, emotions, ego, they blind us.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes we do see what the full picture is, but most of the time, those three things will get in the way of you seeing what the truth is or what the truth can be. And if you go ahead and react on them, then you most of the time will hinder or hurt the situation more than you thought you were trying to help it. And then sometimes, if you take that second, you can see another angle, you can see another option, you can see another perspective, and then that kind of could give you a better sense of what's really happening, instead of just responding on what you're feeling defensive or attacked, and now you gotta step up and express your bravado, your manhood.
Yeah.
If you take that second to try to see a little bigger image of the picture, what do they talk about? If you look at one square of a picture, you miss the whole thing, or you too close to an elephant, whatever that saying is. Like, you got to be able to catch your emotions, your ego, and your pride, and take a step back to try to see the bigger picture, and then you can make an informed, educational whatever decision that's truly helpful for the situation.
But why is that so hard? Why is putting pride and ego to the side hard for y'all? I know why it's hard for me, but I want to hear like what y'all think, because I was literally just having this conversation with one of my friends yesterday, Amber. We was sitting, like, we had a long conversation about ego and pride, or like why. I mean, I'm gonna say male ego because I don't really know about. I mean, women got a lot of pride too, but as far as men, what I think, and this is my own personal conjecture, I think it's because we
SAT word.
Man, here you go. I think it's the fact that most of us view life in general, or like whatever we're working on, as sport and competition. So along with that comes pride and ego. So the way I see it is, if I'm gonna be in something, I want to be number one. I want to be the best at it. Like, I want to be the guy. Like, I want to be wide receiver one. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a way, I want to be QB one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I feel the reason why most of us feel that way is because what comes along with being wide receiver one or QB one, or like whatever one, you get the respect from everybody. You get respect, and there's a lot of different benefits that come with that responsibility. Like, when you the guy, people treat you a lot different than they would whomever is not the guy. Like, if you the principal, and it shouldn't go like this, because I respect these positions the same way, but if you're the principal, a lot of times you're going to get more reverence than the custodian.
For sure.
And it's like, you know, that's why I think most men have a lot of pride and ego, you know what I'm saying? Because we see a lot of things as sport and competition. And whenever it is sport and competition involved, whether that's on the job, whether that's on the field, whether that's just in life in general, we want to be number one. And when you want to be number one, you just want to be the best. It's no knock to anybody, but you just want to be depended on. You want to be the guy that's, you know, that everybody looks to for advice, or just some type of, you just want to be the guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's just how I see it. Like, how do y'all feel about that?
What you got?
So I think it's a little deeper, honestly, because I look at it as, it's not even just men, it's people. I think it starts from, it may be innate, but it definitely starts in childhood. It's like, you ever talk to a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old and they tell you how something is and you know that shit is not right? We grow up believing everything that we've experienced is it.
Yeah.
And then when somebody counters that, it's a natural defense. So our pride is built inside of our head of what I know is right. And until you come to a space in your life where you can acknowledge that, you know what, I don't know everything, I might be wrong, they might be right. When you can give up that, that's when you can start to have the awareness to release your pride and your ego. But we're naturally, I think it's a natural thing that human beings, whatever you've experienced or whatever you think is right, and you wanted to fight for that. And anything that's counter to that, until you come to that space where you can accept something different, now my ego, my bravado, wanting to be the guy, steps in front and fights, when sometimes you're fighting for false evidence.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like that ego and pride, those things are internally baked inside of us throughout our childhood. Even the point of, like, you see QB1 as that guy. You think QB1 knows everything. So if I become QB1, I know everything. So I'm going to become QB1.
Yeah.
I should be QB1 because everything I've done is the best that I know. But once you start to, and I honestly would like to try to teach younger men to start seeing outside of themselves a lot earlier, so they don't grow into a space of, when they get to the job, when they get to running a household, when they get to being a father, being in whatever space they go into, that they can accept that I could be wrong.
Yeah.
And then that gives you actually the opportunity to become QB1. Once you realize that there are possibilities or flaws inside of me, that I can release and then accept somebody else's perspective, opinion, skills, knowledge, whatever.
Yeah.
Agreed. I do think. I think it comes from wanting to be number one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it comes from wanting to be revered, seen as a leader, things of that nature. Whether it's just in your household, outside your household, or wherever. Like you said, I think, like, and I don't want to say, because we all have an ego. I can honestly say I think my ego was put aside so long ago that sometimes it's even hard for me now to push myself out in front, because I saw, it's like the QB1 talk, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy because I saw what it looked like and I wanted to be that person, but I also saw what it looked like to have somebody in front of you that was just that guy.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'll put in the work to be the person, but I also realize, and I've always enjoyed learning, right?
Yeah.
So the learning part of me, like the being teachable part of me, realized there's always gonna be somebody that know more than you. You remember we was talking about, I was like, you think you that dude until you get to somewhere and then you realize it's a coach's son that dude know it, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it was like I had in that moment I had to learn to put my pride aside to say, hey, can you show me how to do this? So it was so much that I experienced early, and I realized, like, bro, your pride, put that shit in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, this is the only way for you to get better. Like, and I think that was what was scary, because I wanted to be better so bad that it didn't even put me in a position. I didn't put myself in a position where I had this ego or anything. Like, and at times that has been my scary point. Because even, you know, when we talk, like, and I'd be like, nah, I went to a school where it was dogs.
Guys.
Like, it was like everybody, if they left out my school and went to a different school, they're that guy at that school. Yeah. They come back over here, they number 3. Yeah. On a chart, on a depth chart of whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
that's humbling.
So yeah, and that was what I got so often. You know what I'm saying? Like, we will all have our moments where we would pop out. But even outside of sports, like, just in life, like, one of the biggest, like, for me, one of the biggest things was being able to see things from, like, we talk about perspective, right? Because that was what came to my mind when you said you're talking to a 10-year-old and you're like, they like, no, this is how you do it, and you're like, no, that's not how you do it. It's their perspective, right? I learned to put myself in other people's shoes. Like, once I learned to do that, it took a lot of my pride out of it. But I think, like you said, and like both of y'all said, the basis of it is wanting to be that person and not having the perspective of another person. The biggest part, even if you are that guy, you still gotta be able to listen to other people. Like, that's the best leaders know how to listen. The best leaders know I'm not always right. That guy gotta know I'm not gonna always have the answer.
That guy gotta be able to see. I mean, I'm gonna bring this up because it happened recently and I did it, but I'm considered the guy on our flag football team. But I saw last week. I saw last week how they were playing me, so I called Cam in to run this specific route because I know he should be able to get open on this. That's me putting the pride, because I want 16 targets all the way down the field.
Man, look, I know you do.
But you got to be able to, and I think that's a good analogy, is see the field. Mm-hmm. Be able to see, you want this for you, but what does the team need? And everybody else.
The perspective.
Broaden
your vision.
Exactly.
So knowing that I'm the guy, I know that everything's coming for me.
Yeah. I
know that everybody over there is coming and looking at me.
Yeah.
So the easiest way, like, let's work smart, not hard, right? I can run and do like my knees swole for the next 3 days because I'm running this fucking comeback because I know I can every fucking time all the way down the field. But if I'm running this, I do this motherfucker 2 times. Now everybody is like, this is the guy. This is the guy. And all I gotta do is, all I gotta do is,
I'm still gonna
get this kid over here to run,
who has some skills and some talent.
Just let him run down the field. Let him be himself. Let him do what he do naturally.
Yeah.
Like being the guy is being able to broaden your vision, broaden your perspective, be able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes and still listen and then put a plan into action.
Yeah.
But the pride and the when it becomes too big, then it's like, no, still throw that motherfucker to me. Still throw it to me.
And I will have no knees, my hamstring will be blown. And
because at that point, it's not even about us and doing what's good for us.
Yeah.
It's about me.
And that's where the leadership falls off. Because the leader in you, the real leadership should say, I'm going to do what's best for us.
Right.
And for, like, let's get us down the field. Let's get us 6 points. The pride and the ego say, me.
Me get 6 points.
Yeah. I remember my horse said, ain't no I in team except, but it is an
M-E. It's an M-E.
It is an M-E.
Yeah.
You better understand.
Was that Kobe?
Nah, I heard that shit way before I heard that Kobe. My coach said that. My coach said that shit to me when I was little.
I feel like that's something Kobe said. I don't know. I could be dead wrong.
Nah, I heard.
But take that a little deeper. Yeah, there is an ME, but it's a team full of MEs to create the team. So yeah, I want you to be you, the best that you can.
Yeah.
But it's part of the whole. So yeah, ME, but it's part of the we.
There's no on the capital T on this motherfucker. No, I'm just playing. But nah, I think another part of the ego, man, is knowing when to step back.
Yeah.
Knowing when to say this ain't my moment.
Knowing when to step down.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a time? Have you ever had a time when you felt like I'm that guy, but then you had to just step down or step back?
I'm pretty sure it's plenty of times. It's jogging my memory right now, but I have to think about it.
Let me ask you this. Answering a question with a question. Why do words get us out of our natural, our consistent character if they're not physically or monetarily affecting you? Why? How can somebody get you out of your character? Because to me, all that is there's an assault on your ego, there's an assault on your pride, and you couldn't control yourself.
One of my favorite sayings is, don't let anybody don't let anybody get you out of your character or out of your coins. Out of your character or out of your coins. You know who you are.
Right.
You know who your mama raised you to be. You know who your daddy raised you to be. And if they can say anything to get you out of your character, take a step back. If they're saying anything that's going to affect how your money rolls, whether it's going to be something that you got to pay out, or it's affecting how your money comes in, take a step back.
Yeah.
I say that at work all the time because I find myself like people with the emails, right?
Yeah.
Some come rolling across you like,
bruh.
I've learned to take, like, it may just be something that comes with time, but just being able to take that moment and just be like, nah, like let me be cool for a second. Even if it's, let me walk to the bathroom and come back. Let me walk around the inside of the building just to give myself a lap.
Yeah.
But like, how does this affect my character, or how is it gonna affect my coins?
I think that's the true test. I'm gonna call it the true test of a man, and is in the moment though. Like an email is cool because you're in your own space. You can probably conduct yourself, but you got somebody bringing their energy to your face, being disrespectful or saying something that they want to affect you, to be able to have that conversation in the moment.
Yeah.
Am I getting pulled out of my character? Is this affecting my dollars? And make a decision to step back.
Yeah.
But that's to me, that's what gets a lot of people in
Jammed
trouble.
up. Yeah.
Or
Absolutely.
I can think of way more times that I chose to do the opposite of step down and like I guess step up.
Yeah, we know.
Because I think what my problem was, like when it came to ego, was that I would make surrendering and weakness synonymous.
Yeah.
I would think that if I let you have this, I guess, disagreement, this argument, then I'm taking something away from me. Then I lose.
It shows
something.
that I look weak.
You know what I'm saying? And already being 5'7", 175.
That's where the short man complex comes
from. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I'm 5'7", 5'8" on a very, very good day.
I was feeling like that about the 5'7".
That's crazy. But nah, like already being my size, I be feeling like, well, I used to feel like, I don't really feel like this no more, but I used to feel like you already got one up on me anyway.
Yeah.
I gotta stand my ground, bro. By any means, I have to like show that even though height and size wise I don't really match up, that I could match up in another area. And that was with my response and like how I defend. I used to call it like protecting myself, but really all I was doing was just acting out of emotion. Like I wasn't necessarily protecting anything. I was protecting what I thought. Yeah, I was protecting what I thought was something that was conducive, but it's not. Like it's just like, what am I doing this for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why am I responding this way? And once I really dug deep and like really touched that thought deeply, I was like, you know what? This is much to do about nothing. Like, I'm just trying to prove some type of false narrative to myself. I don't have to prove my strength by trying to be stronger than you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because just because you bench 315, just because I only bench 225, that don't mean that I'm weak.
The ego lifting. Let me tell you. Let me ask you this. Let me ask both of y'all this. Do you think being prideful and egotistical, essentially, are natural, or do you think it's something that's built over time?
I think prideful is something that's. Oh, you know, that's a great question. I think both can be built over time. But here's what I think it is. I think prideful is more internal, and I think egotistical is more external. I think egotistical is what we get from the world. You know what I'm saying? Because
the cheers, the jeers.
Yeah, like because once you do become the guy, at that point you got a choice, because now everybody gonna be like, they're gonna try to be your friend, they're gonna try to get close to you, you're gonna run into a lot of yes men. So it's like at that point,
also that dopamine hit.
Yeah, man. Like it's because it feels good when somebody tell you that you the guy. Like it feels really good to know that.
I won't say that it don't. Like when people come to you for stuff, when they think of like something's going on, let me call Roger, because I know Roger got Roger. Somebody need to make a play, put Roger in. Like that shit make you feel good.
It should make you feel.
It's hard to fight that feeling.
You know what I'm saying? So I think being prideful is something that we probably learned from an adult figure, or we just have it in us to be like, yeah, I'm not gonna really go for that, or this is what I'll allow, or this is like my threshold, like this is the stopping point. But I think the egotistical part, when it gets to become about just me, comes from somebody told me that I was good way too many times, or somebody depended on me in way too many situations, and I always came through and they always told me that, and I just ate it up. I was just like, okay, well shit, yeah, I am whatever you say I am. Like, and I start to believe too much in me being the guy, and now I've forgotten how I became the guy and why I'm the guy, and now it's just all about me. I think the egotistical is way more external.
I think it's both, and I think you're born, because one of our natural instincts is survival, but also self-progression.
Yeah.
But then also you learn what that can look like in life from what you see as you grow. So I think like you have a natural instinct to protect yourself. You have a natural instinct to want yourself to be seen. You have a natural instinct that you want to be involved. But then as you grow through life, you see how it can be portrayed. Like, I want to be the number one receiver, or the star student, wherever I feel like that I'm attracted to, until I see that's where the attention goes. Of course, I want to be the guy that I want to get the best grades. I want to be the number one guy because I see that's where everybody's attention goes. So from when I get to that space, I come from a space of I want to be better, and then you graduate to a space of so they can see me. So to me, it's working both ways. Like you're born with it, and then it gets molded and manipulated from the world. And then that's when you have to go through that transition I was talking about earlier. Is to be able to disconnect from the I and the me and see the world as a space or a place and people that can help me. I guess you still retain the me person, but it's like now instead of me pushing out, I'm accepting the world around me in.
I think initially I don't think our pride is there, because I think when we're younger, we accept help easily. I think it's once we
want to help too.
Yeah, we want help and we want to be helped, right?
Yeah.
I think once we see,
but do we want to be helped for our own gains?
I think
to me, a 2-year-old, I want this thing at the top of the cabinet. I can't reach it. Yeah, help me get what I want.
But I don't think it's necessary for just our own gain. I think it's innate to be helped. I think when you're that, like, I think it's whether it's because the help is for our gain anyways. Like realistically, like because at that point, what are we getting help to do? Like it's really just to grow at that point, right? So the help is just to help us grow. Whether it's, hey, can you reach that for me because I can't reach it? Or, hey, can you, like as a baby, you'll hold somebody's finger, like you can hold your finger down, and a little baby will grab your finger because they need help walking, right? Yeah. So it's just to grow, it's to get better, right? So I think the pride comes when the dopamine hit. Like they walk by themselves, we start clapping. Everybody yeah. They get
I did.
Yeah,
this.
I did. What? Yeah, walking? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So now and it only gets stronger because we see the reactions. We see what it looks like to be the man, right? Like then it's like, think about if you like, especially back in the day, you always hear the people be like, man, my mom and daddy used to bring me in front of everybody and tell me to dance and sing, right? Yeah. So now they cheering you on.
They ain't asked me to sing. They just said dance.
They like, I gotta get on stage. I gotta do this shit on stage, man. Yeah. Everybody need to see this shit. Yeah. Well, I need them cheers. I need them cheers.
Then you get up like JJ Fish.
And then you get up there that one time and they boo your ass. Yeah. Now it's like, now your ego took a hit. Because you weren't doing it for help no more. You weren't doing it. You was doing it for the cheers. And now when somebody lets you know, like, you're not as good as you thought you were, now your ego takes a hit. Your pride take a hit. I think pride can come along, but I think pride is taught. I think we have a certain amount of pride because we want to see things go well. So we take pride in work. We take pride in what we do. But I think pride becomes a problem when I think it's more so taught, like, because then it's like, as a kid, I think we kind of taught certain things. You should take pride in being able to do it by yourself. Like a kid will still come to you for help. Dad, can you help me make up my bed? And it's like, you should be able to do this by yourself. Mm-hmm. You should be able to clean up your room by yourself, make your bed by yourself. Now when you make your bed, now it's like, good job. So now your pride is a part of it, and a stroke to your ego, because we got the good job for it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Right. But it's, as you get older, you still have to know how to, like, I guess, contain it.
Yeah. Like, I was actually just thinking, like, we've been talking about ego and pride as negative things, but I do think every person needs to carry both of them at a certain level.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or have some type of control over
the like I said, being able to contain it. Like, you want a certain level of pride because you want to be able to put pride into your work. You want to put pride into whatever it is that you're being a part of.
To be better, or to be the best.
Whatever it is, right? Yeah. You want that level of pride because you want to see things be good.
Yeah.
It's when you lose containment and that's when you start to become like the evil villain. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like what's that X-Men, the girl that had like all the mind powers? Jean Grey. It's like, I got this superpower that if I control it, I'm the best thing that ever came out. But if I let that shit go, I could destroy everything around me at any time. So it's that kind of training you have to consciously do over time and have the awareness to do it. That you got this superpower that can blow some shit up, or it can create some shit that change the world. You just gotta have a ability to control.
Picking back off of that point that you made about children and pride, it reminded me of because one of my favorite rappers is J. Cole. He got a song called "Let Go My Hand," and he was talking about how his son basically got to the age of where he was holding his hand. And his son was like, you know, Dad, like, let go of my hand. Yeah. Basically saying like, bro, I got this. Like, I can walk by myself. Like, let me do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need your guidance in this situation. So, but even at that young age, show pride. Like,
or you know what I mean? Let me try it for myself. Not necessarily that I don't need your help. Just let me try it for me.
Yeah. Like, just let me test it out. Like, let me see what I can do. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, honestly, and I was literally just telling Amber this yesterday as well. Shout out to Amber.
Oh, so you throwing names out there.
Yeah, Amber, my dog, man. Right, but cool. I really think becoming a pilot has helped my pride and ego as well, because I was talking about the go-around process earlier. And I've been a victim of that. Like, I've had an unstable approach, and I was like, man, I can fix this. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I can do this shit. But I was doing a stage check with one of the chief pilots at my flight school, and basically a stage check is just a dress rehearsal before you finna take like one of your check rides, which is like a pilot test. Yeah. And there's this one landing that you have to do called a short field landing, and you have to land directly on a certain spot, and you just can't be short. You can be maybe 100 to 200 feet past it, but you just can't be behind it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So he amped up the pressure of the situation, and I will never forget this. He was like, look, this is the last landing. It has to be on the 1,000-foot markers. You know what I'm saying? And I really got to use the bathroom, so we really need to like
hurry up,
go in. So anybody in that situation gonna be like, okay, I gotta get, you know what I'm saying? So the pressure of the situation heightened, and I had a stabilized approach. I came in, everything was smooth, but the pappy lights were all red at one point, which means you too low. Yeah. Which probably means you gonna land short. But I was like, he really gotta piss. He told me like, this the last one, like we gotta go in. Yeah. So, and in that situation, you supposed to give the plane power, because it'll like kind of raise your altitude a little bit. But I was like, I can make it. Yeah. End up being short. And instantly, bro, I was like, I should have went around. So as we land or whatever, and I'm short, and we rolling, he was like, I heightened the situation like that on purpose, because I wanted to see if you was going to put your pride to the side and say, I need to go around. Because honestly, I don't have to pee. That didn't have to be the last one. Yeah. I just heightened the situation just to see what you was going to do. Right. And it's just like, but it's those type of scenarios that I'm placed in to where it's like, or just even in general, to where it's like my pride doesn't have to take over. Like, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's really been helping me with my pride and my ego, because it's like something that's so simple as, you know what? I'm about to miss my mark right here.
I honestly think learning anything new that you don't know anything about is going to check your fucking pride.
Man, boy.
Think about it. Like, learning to fly, like, bro, that's not some everyday shit, right? Yeah. So, like, let's get past what we know. We know sports, right? We sports people. Yeah. So it's like, oh, learning how to play basketball, this is gonna be a breeze. Yeah. Learning how to play soccer, this is gonna be a breeze. You know what I'm saying? Like, we watched enough of it that we can pick up what we pick up, right? Yeah. You can't. Who the fuck? Where the fuck did you watch anybody fly a plane?
I watched it.
Shut your ass up. So now you literally going to something blind as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you recently made a purchase.
Yeah.
You didn't know much about it.
Yeah.
You have to really you had to put your pride aside. Like, hey, what's your recommendations on this?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What's your recommendations on it? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's literally like, that's walking into adulthood in my opinion. Yeah. Like, I know I've been a part of things And it happened to me early, like in some of the worst ways, where I was just like, "Hey, can you teach me this?" And my uncles was like, "Yeah, I'll teach you."
Yeah.
It was the worst shit to learn, but I was like, "Teach me." You know what I'm saying? Like, I need you to teach me.
Yeah.
Give me the game, ghost. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
but
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
But yeah, like I think in my opinion, going into something, and y'all know I say that shit all the time because that's another thing I learned as far as my pride and my ego. I've been known to be wrong.
Yeah,
I say that
you
all
say
the
that
time.
shit at the
I've been
beginning.
known to be wrong.
Yeah.
I've been known to be wrong. So listen, in my opinion, learning something that you have like you don't know anything about it, or all you know is I want to try to learn this. I think that's one of the biggest pride busters and ego busters in the world.
I'm gonna tell you why. Cause especially for me, because you're gonna freaking suck.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna suck.
Yeah.
And please believe, even though I got 100 hours, I still like I can fly the plane well. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I know I'm not on a commercial level, but I sucked.
Yeah.
And that really bruised me, bro. Like, that really hurt my feelings. The fact, because I ain't sucked at something in a long time.
Yeah.
Because it's stuff that you wanted to do.
Yeah,
Look,
like, playing a sport and stuff like that.
Like, everybody, hopefully in the adolescent phase, should find something they're willing to suck at. Like, if you're willing to go through sucking at something because you want it that bad, you're going to learn so much about life and yourself to get through it. You find that thing that you're willing to suck at to go through, it's going to be the setup for all the opportunities that come after this. The other thing I wanted to say was, like, in your experience with your, I'm going to call him your flight teacher, whatever, your instructor, that's exactly the awareness process that needs to happen to get to the point where you can make that decision. Because, of course, you saw the red lights. All right, trigger, cool. All right, I know, shit, I might be a little too low, but I could do it. There's a point where a decision has to be made.
Yeah.
And you made a decision that wasn't necessarily the best in that time.
Yeah. But
your instructor was really the person on your shoulder saying, "Hey, look, in this situation, your emotions or something got elevated in you that kind of clouded your judgment, and then your pride stepped in and said, I can overcome that. Now the next time it happens, and you can put that in any space in your life, the next time somebody approaches you in the street with some aggression, now I can manage this situation to make the decision that gets me to where I want to go."
Right.
And you'll
like,
never forget that.
You know, earlier when we was talking about, we said, well, it's an email, so you can take a second to step back. But now in real life, when this stuff is happening, life will give you, like we can say it's life, we can say it's the universe, we can say it's God. You get practice runs with everything, right? Yeah. So here's your practice run with an email. Now you can take a moment. Here's a practice run with this. You can take a moment. Now, here go your situation.
Here's
your thinking becomes faster. Just like we talked about the muscle memory, right?
Yeah.
Like you get better with your thinking because you're put in these situations. How we were talking about like how COVID affected people's ability to make better choices.
Right.
So
they weren't in those situations.
They weren't in those situations. God's gonna put you in situations. If this is something like this is just me. If I'm praying to God,
and
God help me with my, and I could be wrong. God help me with my decision making as it pertains to like me getting angry or frustrated, right? He ain't just gonna snap his fingers and one day you wake up and now all that's gone. Yeah. He gonna keep putting you in these situations until you get this shit right. Like that's very true. He gonna give you a Brandon. He gonna give you he gonna put you in flag football where these niggas call you fuck nigga and hoe ass nigga. He gonna put you gonna go in the grocery store and see some wild shit and like now how do I handle this?
Yeah.
Am I taking like your thinking becomes faster. Just like with anything else. Like we work on ladder drills to get better with our footwork.
You start slow.
You start slow.
You still fuck it up.
It take a second. You drag that goddamn ladder, throw you down, break. You know what I'm saying? You tow your Achilles and everything, and then eventually you get to a place where you chopping through that motherfucker fast, right?
Yeah.
Because it takes repetition and it takes practice, right? That's what any of this, man. Like your ego ain't just gonna fall off one day. you gonna have to be placed in situations where you gotta put that motherfucker to the side.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna have to teach you something. You gonna have to learn something. Whether this shit is gonna wear you out until you learn that lesson. And God is gonna keep you be like, yeah, that nigga yesterday. It was yesterday. Give me some time, bro.
Didn't learn.
I still got band-aids on my arm from that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, hey, until you get it.
Yeah.
Until you get it.
That's also why I had to let being a perfectionist go, because what I would do is I'm extremely hard on myself. I hate making mistakes, but what I had to realize was mistakes make us great. For one, two, you got to learn how to forgive yourself.
Gotta give yourself grace.
You got to learn how to forgive yourself, man, because when you in the process of learning something new, obviously you're gonna make mistakes. That's starting a new job. That's starting a new relationship.
You goofy. You goofy in this shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like they're gonna happen, but what you can't do is beat yourself up about it, because one, it's not the first or last mistake that you're gonna make.
Well, yeah,
and also at the same time, you don't want to sit and sulk in, you know what I'm saying, the emotions that come with being overly hard on yourself, because it would be hard for me to pull myself up out of that, because like I said, like I just wanted to do everything great. I just gotta be great. Like I gotta be great. I hate messing up because I want to be great. And even in the situation, you gotta let it go. Yeah. Because if you make a mistake while you flying, or while you running a route, or while you on the job, what it would do to me is it would make me so upset that I just made a mistake that the rest of my flight gonna be shitty.
Yeah.
Because I'm in the mindset of I'm still thinking about the mistake I just made 10 minutes ago. Well, had I just kept my foot on the right rudder, then this wouldn't have happened. Or had I just ran the route a half a yard deeper, then I would have got a little bit more separation. Like it's the same thing, but in that situation, you just gotta forget about it. It's like that time where we had that tournament in Marietta a couple years ago, and I don't think you were there for like the first.
You talking about when you dropped the fuck out the ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I was there.
Well, you were there. I just don't think you were playing or something like that. I don't know what to say.
I was on the sideline.
Yeah. So in that moment, I had a choice to make. I was like, am I going to dwell on me just dropping this pass like this, or am I going to forget about it and come back and ball?
Yeah.
And I was like,
let that shit go.
I'm going to just come back and ball, bro. I'm going to just, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to just come back out and do my thing.
You know how many people, when you talk to people and you say, man, how was your day? They be like, man, it was a bad day. He be like, damn, what happened? And they name one thing.
Yeah.
And it ruined their
the whole day.
The next 24 hours was ruined.
Yeah.
Because this happened. Unless it was $1 million fucking mistake.
Yeah. Why
is that one thing that happened in a moment ruin the next 24 hours of your life?
Yeah.
To me, that's a weak. It sounds bad, but to me, that's a weak mind. You have to have resilience in your mind and humility to understand that you're not perfect.
You gotta be that's that. Pull yourself up, and I hate to say that. Pull yourself up by the bootstrap, but you gotta be able to pull yourself up out of your own shit sometimes.
Yeah, And look, also, like people always talk about. And we talked about the universe and God. Like I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I was telling them like something they felt like was negative happened, and I was like, "That's God at work," and they was like, "God wouldn't have done that." And I'm like, God gave you that opportunity to feel how you feeling right now, and to do something different the next time.
To learn, that's it.
To put yourself in a better approach to whatever is coming, whatever this situation was. Now, the next time the opportunity, you're more prepared to handle it or move through it.
That's it.
But God did that. They said it ain't like God just want to make everything perfect for your life. Nah, He's trying to mold you and create you and chisel you. That ain't a smooth process.
And sometimes it's for bigger things down the road.
Exactly.
Like you got to be able to understand what your patience level is right now, because it's something bigger down the road. You got to understand how to step back and be able to process things for something bigger, and then you're going to process it a whole lot faster down the road. It like you've been processing, you've been in the process of learning to be a pilot way before you became a pilot.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like you were learning to put your pride aside. You were learning to be patient. You were learning to be teachable. We have to learn to be teachable. Like, because if we going in like I know everything, life got to humble you to teach you. You got to be teachable. So you've been learning all these things. It's just like you say this shit all the time, and I hate to say shit, but you say these things. You say this about life all the time. You like, yeah, I played sports and I learned I picked up all these skills so that when I went further, when I went into this part of my life, I had those skills in my tool belt.
Not even knowing that I was developing them inside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's literally what you've been doing. Like, you've been gathering these tools. Now you can pull them out your tool belt. You still, of course, you're still getting new tools. Now you just get Milwaukee's and shit. You had them Black and Deckers. You know what I'm saying? They gave you some new. Now your old drill was this one. You know what I'm saying? Now you got some new shit. You
got the hammer drill.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That motherfucker got a little bit different battery pack on it. You feel me? So I think that's life, man. Especially if you passing the test. That's when they're gonna give you the new tools. I can't trust you with this yet. I can't trust you with it because you ain't learned nothing. I gave you the Black and Decker. You cut off 3 niggas' fingers and they wasn't even yours. They wasn't even your fingers that you cut off. So I gotta see what I need to see in you before I give you this.
You gotta look at it like think about a job promotion. Like they not gonna. I'm coming in as a project engineer. I'm not gonna make you a project manager because you're not a great person or whatever. You haven't learned the things you need to learn.
You got to see
to
something.
Get to that position.
You got to see something, man.
And I guess people don't want to look at it as work, but in work you go to work every day to solidify and learn new skills to help you grow as a person, but also in the profession. If you go to work, to me, and that's honestly, everybody asks me how you doing. I'm straight. Because I got a chance to come here and learn something. Shit, I just told y'all going $300,000. That's gonna hit the budget that I'm affecting potentially. I'm gonna fight that shit. But this opportunity that's fucked up is a chance for me to make sure I do my research, to make sure I uplift those people that it actually might fall on top of, to be the supporting manager that I want to be. It's going to make me have some foresight for the next time we start a project and think about things that I've never seen. Yeah, this is fucked up right now, but this is the illumination to the light tomorrow.
It's giving you your tools.
Exactly.
Like I need to look at this next time. When I'm looking over these plans, I need to see this. I need to make sure that this is in place. We are picking up tools every day. If you go in with your pride aside, with your ego in your pocket, you can pick up enough tools to carry you through your life.
For sure.
Especially in our everyday living. Like, cause and I say God is going to keep throwing things at you to test you.
Yeah. And
until you pass that test, he gonna keep hitting you with it. Like I said, like, damn, it was just yesterday, my dog.
Look,
like, bro, come on, bro.
Yeah, I told myself once I got on my pilot journey, I was like, I literally said this in the beginning. I think I was praying or something, and I was like, I'm gonna go through something. Like, and lo and behold, I think I was telling Wallace this the other day, I done had like 4 or 5 instructors already. Like, as far as like having a
like 8 months or something.
Yeah, like. And that's crazy. Like, even I've had like plenty of conversations with other people that's been in flight school and pilots that's at the commercial level now, and they say that's normal. Like, you gonna have so many different instructors.
But when you start, you don't see.
Yeah, like I'm like,
I'm gonna ride this out with you, my boy. Then he died.
Not that extreme, but I mean, but in a sense, our relationship died.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, in a way, but you know, it's like I told myself that I was gonna go through something, and even beyond that, I was supposed to take my my private pilot check ride February 16th, and it got canceled 3 weeks in a row. Like, so I mean, now once I get back to Phoenix, I'll have it between the 19th and the 29th, but still, it's still things that you're gonna go through. Like, once you decide to do something new, or you decide to do anything for that matter, if you say, hey, I want to be an Olympic swimmer, or I want to do whatever, whatever it is that you want is going to test and see if you truly want it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better be open to the ride.
Yeah, because
Any of that.
you gonna go on one,
Yeah.
and that's just the nature of the beast. Like, you're gonna be tested
That's it.
in all of these situations, and the only difference a lot of times between the Bezos and the guy who's sleeping at Chevron every night is the fact that Bezos didn't quit. Like, or whomever is in that position just didn't stop.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of times. Now I get it, like, things may differ from situation to situation, but the only reason why certain people have gotten to the position that they're in currently is because they just didn't quit. They said, by any means, I don't care what happens,
Yeah. I'm all in.
I'm not gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we have that mindset to where it's like, no matter what I go through in this situation, no matter what happens to me, I'm just not gonna stop. Eventually, I'm gonna get there. My car might break down. My tires on my bike might go flat. I might lose a leg, but
Jesus.
I'm still gonna get to my destination. Like, I'm not gonna allow anything to stop me.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how I feel in this situation. Like, when it comes to being a pilot, like, I'm not going to allow anything to stop me from getting to ultimately where I want to end up.
Or I want to really like sit down as time goes on with like people, older people who have successful businesses, because they always talk about, most people, the successful business that you see is not the first business that they started.
Right, yeah.
They had to lose a whole business or go bankrupt or shit just didn't show up on time. Everything went wrong, but they stayed in it, and it became what you see today.
That's the good ego.
And see, I think that's why I say you gotta have it, but
That's the good
but you
ego.
gotta
That's
be
the
able to
good
control
part.
it.
Yeah. That's the good ego. And that's the good
Agreed.
part.
I think a part of that is, though, also making, when you realize what's your purpose, when it ain't about the money, it ain't about it, you don't mind doing it if it's free. You don't mind. You just want to make sure it's done.
Yeah.
I think when you figure out this is my purpose, like, my purpose is, like, when you get purpose driven,
Yeah.
like, it's so easy to like see everything as a learning tool, right?
Yeah.
Like how with everything that happened with you, if this ain't really what you really want to do, it's easy to be like, you know what, man, I'm done. Four instructors, 8 months. Come on, man, I'm straight. I'm cool on this. if this what you really want to do, 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah.
Because and then I'm gonna tell you what the learning is in that, and I'm gonna tell you, when you said that initially, the first thing that came to my mind was, man, you can steal so many tools from them. Every single person gonna tell you, like, they're gonna give you some life experience that they had. Cause this kid that works with us, he was flying with his instructor, and one of the fucking engines went out. He was like, his instructor was cool. He was like, all right, now we finna learn to glide. I would have been like, nigga, you glide. I'ma sit the fuck back. He said, now we're gonna learn to glide. We're gonna put this down in a field.
Yeah.
In a, like, damn near like a strip behind your house.
Yeah.
Like opening in some woods like that.
Yeah.
He said that's what they had to put the pot. That's what they had to put the plane. He was like, his instructor was like, all right, now we're gonna learn to glide. I would have been like,
That's cool as a cute. But that's how you gotta be,
But
though.
that came from the instructor's experience.
that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
even with you getting 4 different instructors, in those 4 different instructors, you're getting something different, a different experience from each of them that you can add to your tool belt.
Absolutely.
And you're also simply just learning how to learn from different people. Like, I had 4 different head coaches in college in 5 years. 4 head coaches. So I had to adjust to every coach want their own players.
Yeah.
I had to learn how to learn from different people and to show them that this is my ability, but I'm not gonna fight you just because I don't know you or just because you want something different. I gotta learn how to show you and learn from you so I can continue, because my goal is to go to the league. This ain't it for me.
Yeah.
So at the same time, you just learn how to deal and learn with 4 different people. Now, whenever you step into a different space, I already know how to adjust. My goal is to get this information and get the hell on.
Yeah. That's very true. That's a great point you just
with
made.
pride and ego, adjustment is your fucking enemy.
Yeah.
Because when it's your pride and your ego, this is the only way I know.
Yeah.
This is what you gonna have to
And
adjust
this
to, my
shit
nigga.
great too.
Yeah, you better understand that.
That's wrong, but you don't care. It's that ego.
So, man, this was a hell of a talk. We ain't said nothing. Hey, welcome to Dropping Dymes.
I forgot y'all was there for real.
Listen, thanks for letting us into a little bit of your, giving us some of your time, letting us into a little bit of your space. This may have been a little bit more of your space, but nonetheless, man, we appreciate you. Of course, go by www.droppingdymes.com, Dymes with a Y. Buy some.
Buy some. It's quality, man.
You understand? It's quality. These, like, he got on the hoodie.
No, for real though. I really like those. Yeah, I like that.
I'm in the t-shirt stitched out. You understand? This is the new 2024 models. These are new 2024. We still got them 2023 models too now. Don't get it twisted. We still got them. But these are 2024 models. We got these. We got some other stuff on that, man. Go by there and check it out, man. We're going to have some Dropping Dymes socks coming. We're going to have the nose rings, the toaster ovens.
Man, the nose rings and toaster ovens is crazy.
we about to do it big out here, man. Also, tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend.
About your friends.
So we can all be friends, man. We trying to get to this 1K.
1K.
Tell anybody come subscribe. They ain't got to watch us.
Hit that bell.
Hit that bell. Because guess what? Every once in a while we're going to pop up and we're going to say some shit that y'all like.
Right.
And then y'all gonna fuck with us.
That you feel like you need to hear, or somebody else in your life need to hear.
I'm just lying. It ain't gonna be too late. We gonna fuck with you too.
It's never too late.
So come fuck with us, man. Tell your people to go subscribe, man. Go on your mama phone, because I know she got YouTube on there. Go on there. Subscribe from your mama phone. Don't subscribe from your kids stuff, because we curse a lot. But definitely tell your friends to come be our friends. Yeah, your cousins, aunties, uncles, all on your neighbors,
nephew,
your
niece.
pastor, maybe not your pastor. Tell your pastor, because we do be dropping. We be dropping.
We had a pastor on here last week.
These might be some sermon. Because that boy preached a sermon. He don't even know it. I started to stop you and hit you with it, but yeah, man. Tell them people go and subscribe, man. Tell your folks. Tell the folks who you don't really rock with. But you know what I'm saying, it may bring y'all closer. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I know we coming to an end, and Roger is a repeat guest, but I still want to give you the chance to leave us out with a dime.
Well, good news, bad news, we don't know yet. And basically what that means is, and I'm gonna say it again. Me and Amber had a hell of a talk yesterday. And that's the main thing that I took away from that is good news, bad news, we don't know yet. And basically, she can explain it way better than I can, but it was just moral of the story. When things happen, typically like when they start out and we think that they're bad, like let's just say you just got laid off from a job, or you just lost your house, or lost a family member, or anything that we associate with a loss, or just doesn't start out in our favor. Good news, bad news, we don't know yet. You know what I'm saying?
I think honestly we just kind of talked through that. That's it. Like we don't.
You know what I'm saying? Like
the four different instructors. We don't know if that's good news or bad news. So don't get too bogged down with it.
Exactly, because you always come out on the other end. Even if, like I said, it starts out shaky, you know what I'm saying, and you really don't know what your next move is going to be. We've all been in a situation like that before, and those moments led us right here on this couch having this conversation, doing very, very well for ourselves. And even if it's not looking too bright for you in that moment, you got to think about what led you to that moment anyway, and what got you through all of the things that you know what I'm saying, been through, and everything that happened. So good news, bad news, we don't know yet.
I like that, man. It's going on my wall. Yeah. I got quotes in my office. Yeah, it's on there. Yeah.
It's good stuff, man.
Appreciate you.
For sure.
Again, we appreciate you. We really do thank you. Thank Roger for coming through, man.
Of course.
Dropping
Appreciate
Dymes.
you, brother.
Every time.
If all hearts and minds are clear, as always.
Clear.
We love y'all. We appreciate you.
All love, baby.
Peace.
This is how I'm feeling inside.
This how I'm feeling inside. Every line that I ride, I just hope I don't cry. I'm just
this whenever I look at you. Couldn't believe all of the things she put me through. This is why I just can't get with you. You remind me of a girl. Whenever I look, wouldn't believe all of the things she put me through. This is why I just can't get with you.